Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to After Hours, presented by People's United Bank. Celia Godwin, Emerson Latzia here.
What's up?
Over at TD Garden, Celtics, they just wrapped up a hot date with the Heat.
Those guys could shoot the basketball tonight.
Yes, they could.
Very accurate as well. That's one of many stories we do have on deck this evening. We also have Boston Stars reacting to Jay-Z turning 50 today, half a century old. And we rip and react with Andrew Raycroft about the ridiculous stretch the Bruins are on right now. But for now, let's go ahead and shine our light on Jaylen Brown. It's our spotlight, also known as our biggest story of the night. And downtown Jaylen Brown with a hell of an evening. Woo! 31 points, including back-to-back triples in the third quarter. And then the dude is going to blow a kiss towards the Heat bench. Yeah, look at him. That's because he's a nice guy, right?
Is that because he's a nice guy?
I do that when I leave the house and my dog's sitting there wondering where I'm going. I'm like, I love you, Rufus.
He's doing that to the dog and not to his wife. Oh, my God.
True story. All right, C's with a big 112-93 dub. Carolyn Mano was there for all of it.
No question that the spotlight is focused squarely on Jaylen Brown. 31 points, a season high for him against a Miami team that looked really good coming into the Garden, winners of 8 of their last 10. When I talked to Brad Stevens before the game, he told me that they needed to play a complete 48-minute effort in order to secure this victory over Miami. While that wasn't the case, the Celtics came out really slow. They used a massive run in the second and third quarters, 40-15 at one point, in order to secure this thing. And from then on, it was the Kemba and Jaylen show for sure. I'm about to head into the locker room. We will talk to Brown, and we'll have that for you in just a little bit. Also might ask him about that kiss that he blew to the Miami bench after back-to-back threes.
Love it, Carolyn. Love it.
Love it.
And of course, like anything in life, the internet has something to say about this. This is actually from a few days ago, but works better now, really?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think here? Pippen and
sure.
Jordan versus Brown and Tatum?
I mean,
maybe one day.
If these guys win a championship here, or a lot of them, then yeah.
A man can dream.
Yeah.
A man can dream, though. They're the best young duo in the NBA, talking under 23, because Tatum had 19 points tonight. Kemba Walker chipping in with like 28.
Yeah.
Just an absolute big three right there.
No, those three absolutely went off tonight. Now we will have much more on the spotlight coming up later in the show. Carolyn Mano will come back with us with the locker room reaction. But for now, we're moving on to the big three, the other big stories we're watching. And those would be our headlines of the day. It's, simple enough. Marcus Smart, doubtful for this Wednesday night showdown with the Heat. He's dealing with another injury to his oblique, but that's not what's keeping the Celtics guard off the hardwood tonight.
They didn't think it was that bad as far as long-term thing. So it was more of the combination of the soreness, but the sickness is what knocked him out of tonight. He was going to be doubtful with the oblique, but the sickness is what knocked him out. And so hopefully he gets well soon. He's been in good contact with our docs, and then they'll check the oblique when he gets back in the practice facility, hopefully tomorrow.
Down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness.
I knew you were going to catch
Down
that.
with the...
All right, now Smart was...
my face off to that.
I know, it was. I loved when I heard that. That's immediately what came to my head. But Smart was actually sent home during Tuesday's practice, and he just got worse and worse and worse over the night and this morning. Stevens added that his injury, though, shouldn't keep him sidelined for much longer. In the meantime, Marcus, rest up. Tea, soup, Netflix for you.
Yeah, everyone is sick. Everyone's sick here. My wife is sick. You go out to the street, say what's up to someone, they're like, I'm sick. But I did really want to see Smart and Jimmy Butler tonight. Jimmy Butler had 37 points for the Heat.
Yeah, he
would not have had 37 points for the Heat if Marcus Smart was playing. I mean, they got some bad blood there. Next up on our big three, though, Tom Brady landing on the injury report with a new injury, dealing with a banged-up toe on top of that shoulder injury. Still remained a full participant at Wednesday's practice, so it's likely he just stepped on a Lego or something.
Those darn kids.
We also know he'd play even if all of his toes fell off. At least the overall health, though, of the team is improving after the damn flu just about knocked everyone out. We just talked about it.
What we've been talking about. Seriously. Last big three of the night. Baker Mayfield wouldn't let a hand injury prevent him from playing the second half against the Steelers last week. And today he vowed to play against Cincinnati this Sunday because
Because mama didn't raise a wuss.
Mama
Yeah.
didn't raise no wuss.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Big personality.
My mother definitely raised a wuss. I'd like trim my fingernail too low and I'm like injured. I'm on the IR. My wife says anytime I'm like sick, I'm like a wounded lamb. I'm like, honey, bring me some soup. Bring me anything. And she thinks I'm like super needy. I don't get it.
I wonder why.
Yeah, me too.
Why? Time for Always Checking, presented by People's United Bank, because we're always checking our social media, and if it's trending, we're talking about it. Yep,
Sean Carter's birthday, but you might know him better as Jay-Z.
Yep,
Have fans everywhere celebrating, including this guy.
Jay-Z and Coldplay, U2, Pearl Jam, those are probably my favorites.
What's your favorite Jay-Z song? You said you listen to Jay-Z?
I do. I love Jay-Z.
Am I putting you on the spot?
I know. No, he's got so many great songs. Let's see.
That's your song?
That's pretty good. The one on the Black Album, the interlude, which I always run out to, is one of my favorites.
You always run out to which one?
Yeah, I think it's titled Interlude. And
yeah, Brady's a ginormous fan of Jay-Z. So much that all of you know this. His pregame routine includes running out on the field at Gillette while blasting public service announcements. Song came out in 2003, still bangs. I mean, we were talking about it today. I was like, I can't believe that song came out so long ago. It's so good.
Time is flying, but I mean, he's 50 years old. He's been cranking out like hit after hit after hit. He's a freaking billionaire. But Brady takes his fandom to a whole nother level. Back in June, he posted this to Instagram: treat my first like my last, and my last like my first. Part of the chorus to my first song.
And do you remember everyone here was like freaking out about it, because there's always talks at that time of year. I mean, like, this is going to be Brady's last year. He's not happy with his contract. Yada, yada, yada.
It's not going to be his last. Then a few years before that, back in 2016, he photoshopped himself onto Jay-Z's The Black Album, which he was referencing, a couple seconds ago.
That's sick.
To promote his TB12 Black hat. Now, Jay's influence goes way beyond the GOAT, so we sent some of our people to ask other New England athletes about their favorite Jay-Z songs.
I ain't got a favorite Jay-Z song, but Reasonable Doubt is my favorite. Jay-Z the GOAT. He can't do no wrong.
Does he work his way into your pregame routine at all?
Pregame for me, I just kind of listen to whoever's out now recently, whoever dropped recent music.
That's not shade, is it?
No, not at all. But sometimes if I got a long car ride, long plane ride, I listen to some Jay-Z.
And you're married to Beyonce.
I know.
So that's pretty cool too. What do you get a billionaire like who is celebrating his 50th birthday? What do? You have everything. You get him another plane or something? I don't get it.
Yes, helicopter? Those are kind of cool these days too, right?
Yeah. By the way, it was awesome because when I woke up this morning, I opened up Spotify. He hasn't been on Spotify in 2 years.
Huge, guys.
So I'm sitting there just mashing weights, like jamming out to like anything and everything, because he stretches now over like many decades.
All of his albums are on Spotify.
Thank you.
Now.
It's the best birthday gift for us.
Yeah.
From Jay-Z.
Thank you, Jay-Z.
Appreciate you.
Alrighty, a lot more on the way, including the Bruins analyst with the best hair. Yeah, Andrew Raycroft. He's making his debut on the couch, and he's already got a bone to pick with both of us. What?
NESN After Hours is brought to you by People's United Bank, where they know there's only one you.
Make it 8 for the Bees. Welcome back into NESN After Hours. After last night's 2-0 shutout over Carolina, Boston has racked up 8 straight wins. Longest win streak in the league right now. Woo-hoo. We like talking about wins, and we like it even more with this guy here.
Oh, how's it going, Andrew? Good to see you again, bud.
Yeah, great to see you too.
Welcome to the couch. Hair is looking on point.
Hey, thank you. I'm pumped to be on the couch. I think, I could have been a part of the debut show, but I'll take number 3.
Okay.
I'll take number 3.
Listen, man, week 1. You made the week 1 cut.
I'm taking it.
Yes, it's the little victories in life, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pumped to be here.
You want to play some Rip and React?
Absolutely.
Because you don't have an option, so that's good.
Let's mash it.
So we're going to mash it. Hey, that's my word. You chill over there. All right, because this is when we rip some sound from like today's practice, some sound bites, also one from earlier in the week. We're going to show you that coming up. And then you're going to react to said sound. Okay. So the first one is Bergeron. It's not going to play tomorrow night, but if he was healthy, Would Bruce Cassidy play him?
Well, let me ask you this. If Bergie was ready to go, would you put him in? Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Like, you try to put the best lineup in every night. So if we have a better player that's ready to go in and we've won 8 in a row, then we're probably going to do that, put the best lineup in.
All right, let's react. You slide him right back in despite the team winning all 5 games without David Krejci filling in for Bergie?
Yes. If you have a guy like Patrice Bergeron at your disposal, you put him in the lineup no matter what the situation is and how many wins you've had in a row. If you've had 15 in a row, you get him in the lineup. But, to that point, you're not putting him in unless he's 100%. And I think that's the point where we're at now, where I'm sure if it was Game 7 of the finals, knowing Patrice, he'd be in the lineup right now. But at the point when you win, you can wait till he's 100%. But as soon as he is, he's in the lineup.
Real quick follow-up to that. When he comes back, would you consider possibly breaking up that first line with those 3 guys, spread out the scoring a little bit?
No.
Just because of the success Krejci has had?
Yeah, again, the success that Krejci's had is great, and we know that he can do that. He's proven he can do it in seasons past, but you put those guys right back together.
All right, up next, the team is rolling. Anders Bjork, he was asked today about the team's swagger and confidence right now.
In past games, I'd just be like, I didn't feel like we were going to lose at all. It was almost like a quiet, swagger that we, guys were, had. And, when you see that from guys like Pasta and Marcia and Krejci and Bergie and Z and Tuukka, of course, too, you just try to jump on that train.
Let's react. So one guy does it, so they're all doing it?
Well, one guy, when it's the leaders do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a competitive league, and they're always competing, and guys' jobs are on the line all the time. And but there are some teams where it's the bottom 6 guys that are competing, and the top 6 guys, kind of stay out of that fray in practice at times. But for the Bruins, over the last 15 years, Char has led the way, and Patrice have led the way, and you can hit them on 3-on-3 drills. You can go at those guys, and they relish that and want you to do that, rather than some other teams. Maybe you get a superstar who doesn't want to get hit or doesn't want to get pushed in practice. So that's the big difference here in Boston, and that's the culture that we talk about.
Yeah, and you could really see the culture also after that loss to Florida. I feel like it was kind of like a wake-up call for them too, and they were like, oh yeah, we really like winning more.
Yeah, and they do, and they've proven that, and the majority of the time over the last decade, they've been on the other side of those 4-0 comebacks. And it's always good to get those wake-up calls throughout the season when your game goes into a bit of a lull, and they got that in Florida, and they've obviously bounced back pretty well from that.
All right, let's rip here. Brad Marchand joining After Hours. He was right there in that spot earlier this week. We asked him why the Bees are so good at home. This is what he had to say, Razor.
I wouldn't say that we're good at home.
Say you're great. Let's say you're great.
We have won games at home, but we have not been very good recently. We're just not playing as good as we can. We can be better, which is kind of scary, I guess. When we're still winning the way we are, and we can be better than what we are.
Not good at home. I'm so confused by this.
Me too.
They haven't lost in regulation. What the hell is he talking about?
Well, that smile makes me believe he might not pass a lie detector test on that answer, but
like going crazy.
Bouncing off the charts. But we see it down in Foxborough. It's that same mentality where you're never completely satisfied, and to go win 8 games, 9 games, 10 games like these guys have over the last couple of years at stretches, you have to have that mentality of the next game we have to be better, and we didn't do enough this game, and readjust and really look at what you're doing and how you're doing it and how you can make it better. And I think that's just the mentality that these guys have, and they've had it all season long, coming off of that Game 7 loss last season.
Andrew Raycroft, good to have you here, bud.
It's great to be on the couch.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It is.
Thanks, man.
You got it.
Let's fast forward and look ahead to the Bruins' next matchup. Chicago comes to town on Thursday night. We know David Pastrnak has been hot, but so has Patrick Kane.
Ooh.
However, his point streak, no longer a thing, ended at 15 games on Monday night, the longest streak in the league this season. And Kane should be good to go for Thursday's game. He had a rough go at Wednesday's practice. took an accidental elbow to the face and fell into the ice and skated off on his own and didn't return to practice, but the team expects him to be fine.
And guess what? You can watch Chicago and Boston skate against each other on the ice playing hockey right here on NESN Thursday night. 30 minutes of pregame coverage starts at 6:30, leading up to puck drop from inside TD Garden.
Next on After Hours, are the Patriots rookie receivers that bad? Well, you won't be encouraged by the bus comparisons from the Twitter sphere. Here's one hint: Dropkins.
Ooh, that's not good.
We'll decipher it with Doug Kide and his mailbag.
After Hours, back on your television, hitting you with some NFL headlines. Eli Manning back in the saddle again. Aerosmith, anyone? Giants starting quarterback, that is who he is going to be, at least for one more game, with Daniel Jones in a walking boot, dealing with an ankle injury. Pat Shurmur telling reporters Manning will very likely start on Monday night against the Eagles.
Panthers quarterback Cam Newton is planning to have foot surgery, according to the NFL Network. 30-year-old hasn't played since week 2, landing on injured reserve a month ago. Now, he originally decided not to go under the knife, but it appears things have now changed. Carolina's GM says it's impossible to put a timetable on this injury.
And Baltimore's Lamar Jackson on the cusp of breaking Michael Vick's most impressive record, which is, if he can manage to run the ball for just 63 yards on Sunday against the Bills, he's going to set the league record for most rushing yards in a season by a quarterback. Vick's record of 1,039 yards has stood for 13 years. No quarterback since then has even hit 900 in a year. LJ, he has 977 right now. All right, another human being making his debut on the After Hours couch. This is NESN.com Patriots insider Doug Codd. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Good to be here. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to see you here on our show. We're going to hit you with some hashtag Mail Doug questions. But first, our questions, the tough questions, Doug, the ones you're going to struggle with.
Yeah. Oh, all right, I'm ready.
I promise you, you will not. You wrote up a really nice little article on NESN.com.
Thank you, Celia.
You're welcome. You're welcome. About Tom Brady, his struggles against Houston, how they're complicated and against a bad defense. So what makes you think that he'll be better against Kansas City, another team with a defense that's not very good?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with some of the wide receivers on the Patriots offense. If Tom Brady has less communication errors with some of the young guys like N'Keal Harry, like Jacoby Myers, even Philip Dorsett. He had a miscommunication with Julian Edelman. That's something you very rarely see.
Yeah.
So some of these issues are very easily solvable, especially with those veteran wide receivers. But I think it also will help to get Mohamed Sanu back fully from that ankle injury. He only played about 19 snaps on Sunday against the Texans. If he's back to close to full health, I think that will help. One other thing, Tom Brady didn't sound that great on the radio on Monday.
No.
It sounded like he might have been a little bit under the weather. He would probably never admit to it because he's on the TB12 method. But I think if he's back in full health too, that would help.
Maybe it's because he stubbed his toe, because he was on the injury report today with an injured toe.
Absolutely. Maybe he clipped his nail too short or something.
I have done that before. There is no pain quite like that when you clip your nail too low.
Yeah.
You were just talking about the wide receivers. Maybe Stephon Gilmore could be the cure here.
Maybe.
At that position. He said today it doesn't look that hard. Can he do it, Doug?
Well, I love salty Steph. Usually we get it after games. The most famous examples were when he called Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz slow, and that it was easy to cover them.
Guys who, by the way, coach was just praising.
Yeah, unbelievable tight ends, but no, they're slow, so they're pretty easy to cover. But he threw shade at the entire wide receiver position today, saying that, it doesn't look that hard. If anyone would do it, it would be Bill Belichick. They're using Landon Roberts at fullback. They've used Troy Brown and Julian Edelman at cornerback. I'm sure the Patriots are hoping that it won't get to that level where they have to put Stephon Gilmore in there. He's probably their second best wide receiver right now, for being completely honest.
Probably did some Wildcat in his days in South Carolina.
Absolutely, yep.
I know there's a lot of talk about wide receivers, but at least we have wide receivers. At this very moment, the Patriots don't have a kicker.
Yes.
Who's it going to be on Sunday?
It's a great question. Might be me. Who knows?
All right, Doug.
I'll go for it.
I'll get
I'll
get one of those jerseys.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, they don't have a kicker right now. I think it's probably going to be Nick Folk. They might have wanted the kicker that the Colts claimed off waivers from the 49ers, Chase McLaughlin. But now that he's with the Colts, maybe Adam Vinatieri could become available.
That would be so cool.
It'd be the best.
But he also really
has a knee injury.
He stinks this year,
yeah, that too. And I'm sure that the knee injury probably won't help him out much either. But who knows? Maybe they sign Nick Folk. Chase McLaughlin's great for the Colts. I'm getting into some sort of like fantasy football here, a different kind of fantasy football. And then maybe Adam Vinatieri does come to New England and has the swan song with the Patriots. That would be the best option. But no, I think easy answer would be Nick Folk.
All right, now to #MailDoug. You ask people for questions every week on Twitter. Your mailbox, it's absolutely jam-packed right now because we have been creeping through it a little bit. Caleb with a good one here. Kenbrell Tompkins and Aaron Dobson in 2013 versus N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers this year. Just how similar are they, Doug?
Pretty similar. I would take Jacoby Myers over Kenbrell Tompkins. Myers has not had the drop issues that led Kenbrell Tompkins to earn the nickname Dropkins as a rookie in 2013. Dobson was a second-round pick. N'Keal Harry is a first-round pick, so you would think Harry's a more talented player. I do think that Dobson will wind up having the more productive rookie season just because Harry missed half the year. I wonder how much Tom Brady's going to go back to him after that last target was an interception. But Dobson also earned the nickname Dropson back in 2013. Not the greatest days for Patriots wide receivers. So there is a parallel there between 13 and 19.
All right, let's give you another one. Here's one from Kyle. Riddle me this, Doug. When Brady was a rookie quarterback and was asked, who's his wide receiver one? His response was, whoever's open. Why has that mentality changed? Why can't he trust his targets and continue to force passes to Edelman?
Part of it is that the Patriots offense just keeps getting more and more complex the longer that Tom Brady's in it and the longer that Josh McDaniels is around. They know the offense like the back of their hand, but these rookies don't.
Yeah.
And not to get too far into the weeds here, but Patriots offense has a lot of options for wide receivers that they have to adjust on based on what the defense gives them, and that's why the Patriots offense is so good, so that they can adjust to a defense. But rookies like Jacoby Myers and N'Keal Harry, they're going to intrinsically struggle with that when they come into the Patriots offense. So you can understand Tom Brady's frustration that he's dealing with a bunch of new guys who can't perform at the level of the Patriots offense, but at the same time, I think Brady's being a little bit too grumpy about it. The Patriots are 10-2.
Yes.
If the Patriots had been able to afford more wide receivers, they would have had to cut some guys on defense, and the defense wouldn't be as good as they are. So
then you'd have to score more points.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a snake eating its own tail situation, and the Patriots are 10-2. So there's really nothing too wrong going on right now.
Great debut on here, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that greatly.
Well, by now you probably know what happened in the Celtics Heat game, but you probably do not know what the guys are saying about it. So we're taking you inside the locker room next.
This portion of NESN After Hours is presented in part by Cross Insurance, where security meets strength.
Bring it on in, fam. NESN After Hours rolls on with some new things and a revamped spotlight.
Yep.
Sealy Godwin, Emerson Latia.
More moves on the diamond and another fireside therapy session with Remdog on the way, but the action from the Garden just wrapping up. A little earlier, the Celtics dousing the Heat 112-93. That's your final. Three guys just going off the charts tonight, including that man, Jaylen Brown, 31 points, one off of his career high in the regular season. Dude had 15 of those points in the third quarter, back-to-back threes, blowing the kiss in the direction of the Miami Heat bench.
I think it was at them.
Yeah. So Kemba Walker was great too. Jason Tatum was great. But again, Jaylen Brown. Carolyn Mano, you were there. What you got?
Everybody here at the Garden talking about downtown Jaylen Brown after a season high in points, and that kiss that he blew to Miami's bench in the third quarter was a topic of conversation in the locker room. It seemed like it may have been malicious in intent when it happened on the floor, but afterwards we learned, no, just for his old friend.
Get more comfortable with the blitz. They're blitzing Kemba and blitzing JT, so just being aggressive out of that because they got it's 4-on-3 on the backside, and I'm just trying to be aggressive.
Is that something you can learn from watching film, or is it just a matter of being out there on the court?
Being out there, but also watching, seeing it and getting more comfortable with it. The last few games, people have been blitzing the same way, so just being aggressive out of it and trying to make plays. And hopefully, if they continue to blitz, I'll continue to make plays. But if they stop, then it'll open up guys like Kemba and JT on some of those screens.
How much did your defense change things in the second quarter?
That's what gave us the game. I think switching, being up, ball pressure, and stuff like that helped us get more acclimated into the game, and we warmed down towards the end.
Brad said that the defense was at its best whenever Shemi was out on the floor. What was he doing specifically to make an impact on that end?
Communication. Shemi, you can always hear him talking. Shemi does a good job of being communicative on defense, so he's an anchor down there. So we started the second half with him, and he helped us out a lot.
Season best in point. Go ahead.
Were you blowing a kiss at anyone in particular?
Yeah, that was for Kelly. I don't know if he was over there, but that was for Kelly.
Have you been talking a little smack?
Nah, that's my guy. That's all love right there. Kelly is my guy. K-Doggy, one of Boston's finest. So every time I get to show him some love, I try to. He said I was going to miss, so I sent that kiss over to him.
Did he see the kiss?
Huh?
Did he see the kiss?
I don't know. He felt it, though.
Is that your go-to move? I feel like we've seen that from you before. Did you do that against the Pacers?
I don't know. I guess when people like to, say I'm a non-shooter, so when I make it, that's like my gift to them.
After the game, Brad Stevens said that the defense in the second quarter was really what spurred that Celtics run and ultimately led to victory. He also said that the team was the beneficiary of some tired legs from Miami, and that's true. They are 0-4 now this season in the second game of back-to-backs. After facing the Raptors and coming straight here, they looked a little bit tired. Nevertheless, the Celtics did not need this first quarter tonight. From the second quarter on, it was all C's in this building. Guys?
I love that. He might not have seen it, but he felt it.
Yeah. They shared that bond, man.
Let's see what the internet has to say about this game. Bartholomew Kuma need y'all to apologize to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, remember that? Everyone used to think this guy sucked and he was going to be a bust, but no. They just have to come into their own after a while here, people.
Well, guess who's laughing now?
Yeah, here's another one. Imagine thinking the C's should have traded Jaylen Brown for anybody. Definitely wasn't me. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta accept that you were wrong.
And some people are really good about that and others are not.
True. Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe talked to us.
In what was an early test for the Celtics against the Eastern Conference foe, the Celtics dusted off the Miami Heat 112-93 at TD Garden behind 31 points from Jaylen Brown, including 5 3-pointers, and Kemba Walker had a 28 with 6 3-pointers. The Celtics trailed by 11 points in the second quarter, but went on a pretty improbable run over the next 2 quarters, took control, and coasted to their 15th victory. The Heat had won Tuesday night in Toronto, so this was a big game for the Celtics, a big test against an opponent that they could compete with and probably play a playoff series against down the road. And they came out with flying colors. 10 rebounds from Robert Williams, 9 rebounds from Jason Tatum, a complete team effort, and a great defensive effort from the Celtics. Jimmy Butler had 37 for Miami, but no other Heat player had more than 12 points. So a complete team effort for the Celtics, shutting down the Miami Heat, 112-93. Next up, Friday against the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, SpongeBob meme never gets old.
This is the best.
Jaylen Brown isn't worth $105 million. I don't know. I think tonight he kind of proved that he is.
He earned his money, for sure.
Yeah, so we'd love to see more performances like this. Again, one off his career best in the regular season. That would have been 32 points. But I really look forward to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum kind of throwing up alley-oops to each other in the All-Star game. That is going to be excellent. These guys are good, bright future. And here in Boston, yeah, okay. And then once Gordon Hayward kind of joins the party, let's go.
Get guys healthy, but they are playing so well despite missing guys like Gordon Hayward.
Yeah,
right now.
I love, by the way, the blowing the kiss to Kelly, the clinic Olynyk, man. Hey, they gave him a nice little tribute video when he returned to Boston. I believe it was like last year. So, yeah, no, you won't see that for Kyrie Irving.
No, you will not. No. You will not. The hot stove is starting to simmer. And Rick Porcello is taking calls. Find out which team is already showing interest in the Sox free agent. We've got what you need to know.
NESN After Hours is brought to you by People's United Bank with individual financing solutions because there's only one you.
Baseball's off-season is ramping up ahead of the owners' meetings next week. The Red Sox announcing they have re-signed infielder Marco Hernandez. Hasn't done much with the bat, but I guess can still be a versatile defender, according to people who know a lot more about baseball than I do. Now, all they got to do is figure out how to sign Mookie Betts.
Let's pull in our baseball guru, Adam Pellerin. Might not have all the details on that just yet, but he's here with some N2K.
Ooh.
Plenty of other teams making moves right now, Adam. What do the people need to know, presented by People's United Bank?
Well, apparently they now know I'm a baseball guru. I got
Yeah,
a new
you
title.
are.
Thank
Hey,
you very
listen.
Do you like that title?
You played catcher. You played catcher in college.
Was a catcher in college, yeah. Not
You're
in the
built
major
like
leagues.
one too, buddy.
Oh, thank you. You know, I try to stay in shape. Anyway, bringing Marco back, by the way, gives them a utility guy in the event that Brock Holt leaves in free agency. Winter meetings are next week in San Diego, but we are starting to see some moves this week. How about Cole Hamels signing a one-year, $18 million deal with the Braves? For the last 2 years, he pitched for the Cubs, but he's been around. The left-hander has been in the bigs for 14 years, has a World Series MVP and NLCS MVP under his belt when he was with the Phillies. That was all the way back in 2008. Speaking of the Phillies, they invested big time in right-hander Zach Wheeler. Wheeler reportedly signed a 5-year, $118 million deal with Philly, and the 29-year-old reportedly turned down an offer for more money to pitch for the White Sox. Fun fact, Wheeler was drafted 6th by the Giants in 2009, but got traded to the Mets 2 years later in exchange for Carlos Beltran. So where will the Mets turn to fill the void left by Wheeler? Possibly Rick Porcello. There are reports that there's mutual interest between Porcello and the Mets. Porcello grew up in Morristown, New Jersey, so there's that. And quick note about Fenway Park outside of baseball. They have concerts there as well. Just announced Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett. Talk about some 80s loving right there, guys.
Pour some sugar on me, Adam.
What would you guys like to see at Fenway this summer?
You know what? I'm in a Jay-Z mood right now because he turns 50 today, bud. I would love to see him just rock the roof.
I mean, there's a lot of hair metal bands coming
Yeah.
through there. That's incredible. Like, everybody's just gonna go right back to the 80s.
Look,
Love to see how you guys look at a
Leppard,
concert like that.
Def Leppard, Poison, Motley Crue, I had all the cassettes back in the day. But I'm gonna say, I want to see Billy Joel. I've never seen Billy Joel in concert. He plays like every month at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
He's at Fenway late August. I think I'm gonna hit that up.
Isn't he? I believe he's coming, right? He's coming to at least Boston.
Yeah, he's coming to Fenway, August 28th.
Okay, so are you going to go to that? You're going to bring the whole squad?
I'm going to try to go.
Okay.
Might be a birthday gift for my wife.
Oh. It's a good thing she doesn't watch this show then.
Well,
she would have just spoiled
She watches
that.
this show. She watches NESN 24/7.
I like her. I like her a lot.
Adam, thank you, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
Plenty of NBA action tonight. 10 games on the slate plus 4 NHL games. We'll definitely be seeing some of those in the nightly 5 coming up here.
But we can't go to break without checking in with our Rem Dog. Another delectable question on the menu.
Dear Jerry, I enjoy eating my dessert before my main course meal. My wife gets upset when we go out to dinner and I order my favorite cheesecake. She says she's embarrassed when I order dessert first. It has gotten so bad that she won't go out to eat the dinner with me. What should I do? And that's from Fran in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Well, Fran, something's wrong with you. I really must admit that, because that is one of the strangest things I've ever heard. I have never been out to dinner where anybody has ordered the dessert prior to the meal. And can you imagine what the staff is thinking about you when you do that? I don't blame your wife for, I think it's a little embarrassing for her to go out to dinner and have her, sit there and watch you eat a piece of cheesecake before you even order your entrees or your appetizers, unless you consider that your appetizer, I don't know. But I would sneak that in before you leave. I mean, I wouldn't make her angry over something like that where she's embarrassed to go to a restaurant. It seems kind of foolish to me, but good luck to you. Try to work it out, but I suggest eating it at home. To send more questions in, please send them to AskJerry@NESN.com. Maybe I'll answer yours next.
What's going on? Welcome back to After Hours. Seeley and Emerson here, and it's time now for your social drive presented by Nissan. Here's the deal on social media. Mark Borvetsky is Borocop. Yeah, that's how you say it.
I was looking at like Brobocop.
It's his actual nickname, and it fits him well, especially after stopping an attempted car robbery on Sunday.
Wow.
The team put together this epic video to go along with it ahead of their game with Oilers. Funny story, though, the woman whose car was being broken into is actually a Leafs fan.
Oh, okay. That trailer, a little less violent than the actual movie. And the St. Louis Blues writing letters to Santa. Did you ever do that? Did you ever do that?
I think I might have.
Where did those stinking letters go, by the way? Troy Brouwer saying all he wants for Christmas are his 2 front teeth. And the reason that is because of this beautiful smile he's about to hit us with, and I wonder what he's missing. It would be his 2 front teeth. Yeah. Come on, show it to us already. Do you have anything special on your Christmas list, like teeth? Because your teeth look pretty decent.
Mom paid a lot of money for those. Thank you, Mom. Braces, I really
wonderful, yeah, I know. I have Invisalign right now, everyone.
Texas Rangers are opening their new ballpark next season, and Joey Gallo can't wait to start hitting dingers in it, so he just went ahead and started doing that.
Yeah, he literally cannot wait. It's like the Sandlot on steroids in there. It's phenomenal.
That's so cool. I mean, can't say you've done that before, but now you can.
Yeah, that is an expensive stadium he is playing in. On National Cookie Day, of course, a guy nicknamed Cookie wins the American League Comeback Player of the Year. Carlos Carrasco of the Indians returned to the mound back in September after a fight with leukemia. That was an emotional return. I remember that was down at the Trop, and both the Rays and the Indians, raising up everyone in the entire stadium, just showing them some love, man. That's not easy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So good for him.
Very good for him. Carson Edwards, basketball player, but for some reason he was very determined to put the balls back on the rack with his foot.
Okay. Yeah, just messing around a little bit, right?
Yeah, I've done this before. It's fun.
You're a former soccer player.
Well, once you start doing it, you're like, I gotta get it. Like, it's a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
Now, this video is almost a minute long. He ends up knocking some of the others off the rack. Whoops.
Okay.
And ends up getting a whole crew of people to watch him struggle. Or big man Donnie comes over and tells him, like, hey, let's take a walk.
Yeah, you could just pick him up and set him down there. But yeah, if you feel like kind of wasting the next 30 minutes of your life,
this is way more fun, Emerson.
Excellent.
So much more fun.
Right? You were a former college soccer player?
Briefly. You love bringing that up, don't you?
It is all fun and games, though, until someone knocks down the MVP. Here's some video of NBA players behaving badly.
No. Bad boys.
It does not make our nightly 5, though, Sealy, but a play from the game does. Stick around. On the other side of the break is our nightly 5.
Social Drive is presented by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Let's party, people. It's the After Hours Nightly 5. In other words, our 5 top plays of the night. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yes, again and again and again, please. Maryland's
Eric Ayala.
He's number 5, so this fits.
Yeah, Kodak moment of the night. Against Notre Dame, just dunking on all of South Bend.
One more time, yes. Number 4, Aaron Gordon, a dunk champion and already prepping for this year's contest.
That actually looks really difficult. He's like right under.
Yeah, he had no time really to he just turned over that left shoulder and one-hand dunk in.
This is all this guy does, and he's like jumping over cars and buildings, and leaps and bounds.
I would go ahead and say the early nominee for the winner of next year's contest.
Yeah, I'd second that. Then there's this, number 3, Andre Drummond. Planning the Greek freak's funeral, getting straight up boomed on.
You don't see this often on Giannis.
Yo, look at Giannis's face though, his reaction. He's like, what just happened?
I just got put on a poster,
He's so confused.
Man.
Look at the look on his face, just looking at Drummond.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, did you really do that to me? I didn't think you could. And he did.
It happened. Gosh, that's a great dunk, man. All right, number 2, Avalanche come to Boston on Saturday, but tonight they're taking on the Maple Leafs. Nathan McKinnon, what? Nice.
Dude, frozen rope, kid.
Wow. That's his 18th goal of the year. But, maybe too far. Yaro could stop it. Just saying.
Yeah?
Still, great goal by McKinnon.
You hear the iron on that one?
Ding, ding.
Okay, number 1. We've got Bennington. Netminder for the St. Louis Blues. What a toe save. Are you kidding me? That entire basket was wide open. and dude gets toe on it.
Love it. Love it. And then here's the other thing. He missed the open net on
That's
the
more.
rebound
That's more
off
on
of
him.
that. Seriously.
That is way more on him. As I'm getting super comfortable here, like on the couch, just
I mean, I love
lounging.
watching highlights. We're just like, wow.
This is what we
These
do
are
here.
great. Seriously, I love the Nightly Five. It's one of my favorite segments of
Yep.
happening.
And during basketball season, we will have a lot of basketball highlights. Most
Yeah.
likely dunks.
A lot of dunks. I mean, that usually makes the Nightly Five, the top plays that you see.
What about a great pass? You know?
Those are there
Yeah.
too. Some good dimes. Always room for those in our Nightly Five. All right, not done just yet. We have a lot more to come.
Is that right?
On the other side of the break, what if I told you no Boston team has lost at home in regulation in a very long time?
Okay, I think I'd actually believe you.
We'll explain in our last call, plus our gift to you. Stick around. Welcome back in, everybody. Last break for us. So with that, we need to give our gift to you, which is right behind us, as you can see.
It is presented by People's United Bank because there is only one you.
Correct.
An older gift
Let's
of Jaylen
go.
Brown. That was before he cut his hair, but still works for tonight.
Huge game tonight and undefeated
Yeah,
at home this season.
31 points, right? One off his regular season career high, which would have been 32 points.
Yeah, that's good math, Emerson.
Thank you very much. All right, we have a last call now.
Yep.
And that last call are these numbers on your screen. So the last home regular season loss in regulation. We're showing you this because the Patriots, the Bruins, the Celtics, none of them have lost at home this year. Oh, Red Sox, 67 days ago.
Let's not look too closely at that one.
Yeah, don't even look at that, okay? So 794 days ago was the last loss for the Patriots at home.
That's incredible. I mean, guys, we have won so much here in New England. It's absolutely incredible. My goodness.
That's good stuff.
All right, for Emerson Latzia, Celie Godwin, we're done here for the night. You guys have a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.